Kings and queens, welcome back to yet another
do?
episode of A New Perspective. We have Talal back in the crew. What is up, G?
What is up, man? It's been a hot minute, a hot
And
60
Mike,
seconds.
Mike's
Here too.
No,
What's up,
it's
lads?
it's been a while.
Yeah.
It feels good to be back, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good that we're finally back in full swing. If
Mhm.
we want to mention that real quick.
So
We have this little system that we developed where we get back, we kind of just like force ourselves to schedule out a time like every week. Be like, okay, this is when we're recording. As if you're like taking out a chunk for like a class or whatever. Like this is strictly for the podcast. And speaking of that, we have this new little series called Time Out, where every week one of us will every week it rotates and one of us will take like 5 to 7 minutes, talk about whatever subject we desire. Give a little time out. That's where the name
the
emerged.
name
So
implies.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just that's not completely, but it's in a small sense going to take place of like the motivational stuff, because it's hard to take an entire episode to do that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
This is going to be a much shorter episodes, and by doing that, it's much easier to consume, especially that sort of type of information. People lose interest quickly. So
Yeah, there's no way I want to listen to somebody, a motivational speaker, for more than 10 minutes. So
Mhm.
it just turns
Exactly.
into everything I've heard from everybody else.
Exactly. So there's that. Nate, why don't you go ahead, or Mike, just introduce us to what we'll be talking about today.
Well, first, Nate, I think that you have some very exciting
Oh,
news.
yeah. So for you veterans who have been listening to the podcast for a couple months now, I finally had ice cream cake.
AKA he's a human being now.
Yeah, and it wasn't on my birthday.
Look at you.
See, you
It's
went
even
and bought a
better.
cake, and you didn't. You like this is what I was talking about. You could just walk in, buy a cake, and then
Yep.
like nobody will question you. It's
Yeah,
bizarre, right?
So I got ice cream cake. It was a cookies and cream. Kind of kept it basic a little bit,
Mhm.
but
That's how most of them are. They're
yeah,
just the same thing.
yeah, I figured. Life changer, dude. Absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
Dude,
That's what I'm saying, dude.
So good.
It's combining two wonderful things into
It got to the
one
point.
nice dish.
So we got it for we kind of celebrated Anya's birthday a little bit early because she's gonna be going away. So we kind of got it for that reason. But she wasn't sure what she wanted, so I was like, well, let's get ice cream cake and let's get this kind, and we'll try it. She was like, okay.
yeah.
I was like, I haven't had it yet, so let's do this. I made that executive decision, and I had it, and it got to the point where there was one piece left. I was like, this was last night. I was like, do you want it? She was like, no, you can have it. I'm like, good. Give me that. Good.
Oh man.
Didn't want
How
to
to be a
share
gentleman
anyways.
101.
Yeah. Hey, listen. The other thing, Nate, that you need to learn: if me and Talal tell you something tastes good, it probably tastes good.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
know,
get on
like, yeah. I mean, we all love food and different kinds of food and everything. So I mean, I didn't doubt. I just never got around to it.
Now that you did, I feel like you could have it more often.
Oh yeah.
I might have an ice cream cake once a week here, bud.
My issue with ice cream cakes is I wish they sold them just by the slice, like they sell regular cake. Because there's some days I just want a piece of ice cream cake. I don't want regular ice cream.
That's
I
how it
don't want a
always
piece
starts
of
off,
cake.
though.
Yeah, like I don't want a whole big. Even if you get one of the smaller ones, they're still like decent sized. I
Yeah.
thought they would have them in smaller. Like, you know how like some cakes you can get them in like a 4-piece, slice thing or something. They didn't have that. It was like a 6 or 8. Like, yeah, I don't know. I wish it came at least a little bit smaller then.
Yeah, that's sad. But
Someone needs to make it happen.
I mean, I feel
I'm gonna
like that's
start
how it
making
always
my.
starts out.
I'm gonna start
You
making
start
my
off
own
one
ice cream
slice,
cakes.
and you get another. and then you want another.
I'll start
It's
making my
never
own
one
ice cream
slice.
cakes and selling them out in Walmart and stuff.
I don't
Do
know,
it.
Talal. I feel like after one slice of ice cream cake, if I've had a meal before then, I already feel huge, and I don't want to eat another slice.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just a fat boy then, because it's never one slice for me, ever.
You're probably the skinniest out of all of us.
Metabolism, dude.
Well, it's definitely between you two. I'm not in that. Ain't no way.
It's a big boy.
It's a big Donnie here. All right.
All right. So, oh,
go ahead.
Ooh.
that was impressive. So the thing we wanted to talk about today, and it happened last weekend technically, and it kind of happened the weekend before then too. The weekend before was Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather boxing match, and this weekend was the YouTube versus TikTok boxing card.
Can we talk about the Mayweather one first?
Yes,
Dude.
So I want to hear what you guys have to think, because I feel like I have a very well-rounded opinion on what happened.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick, a lot of people kept asking, why is there no winner? It's an exhibition, for one. Two, no official scoring was kept. It was all unofficial scoring. There weren't actually any judges, right? So no winner is going to be declared unless there is a knockout. That's how the game works. That's how the rules work. And everybody was like, well, who's the winner? There isn't.
Yeah, we know who won.
Officially. Yeah, officially, there is no, there was no declared winner. Unofficially, there was scores kept. And even without those, it was clear to see. Logan had over double the punches thrown and half the hits landed or something like that. And, Jake's clowning if he thinks Logan actually beat Mayweather. Dude, I'm sorry. You did not make this man go 50-1. He is 51-0.
I think the win that Logan has is that he even did it.
I think the win he had is that he lasted.
Incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
And props to him.
Yeah, I was watching it and thinking, there's no way this is going to last the whole time. And then it lasted the whole time. It's not any discredit to Logan's boxing ability. It's a credit to Mayweather's knockout ability.
Yeah.
Because you can say, oh, he hasn't knocked anybody out in however many years, but that with somebody like Mayweather, that part never leaves your body.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was a great fight. I feel like if you appreciate boxing, you appreciate what the fight was.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. And I know Logan publicly spoke out about this, and now it's very difficult to find the video. He deleted it off of his Instagram and everything. But he talked about where people were trying to discredit him, saying he got knocked out in the fight and that Floyd held him up.
Oh, yeah. There's no way. Listen, Mayweather would have everything to gain from a knockout and nothing to lose from keeping him up. Nothing to gain from keeping him up, I mean. There's no reason he would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what I think. I've seen that part of the fight in slow motion and everything, and it does look like he's holding him up. It really does. But again, like you said, nothing to gain or lose on either side of that fence.
I'm pretty sure Mayweather addressed it, and he said he said something along the lines of, "Look at me. Why would I do that? Why? I don't know. I can understand thinking that it happened. I can also understand thinking, why would that ever be a reasonable possibility of Floyd Mayweather, the great himself, doing that to anybody?" But it is what it is. I thought it was a good fight. A lot of people said, oh, there was too much, like they were clinching a lot, just because, listen, that's a part of the strategy of boxing, is clinching up and grappling to hold an opponent. It saves energy. It gives you that little 1-2 second time that you really need to catch your breath. And Logan did it a lot. And that's the reason that he lasted as long as he did.
Guarantee you,
Mhm.
if he didn't do that, he wouldn't have lasted. Like you said, that's a strategy that's a part of the game. And
Yeah.
you know, that 1 to 2 seconds, okay, especially if, and now Mike, you've done kung fu and you've done like some fighting and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So while I know you really haven't, but for anyone who's actually done a few minute rounds, it's exhausting.
It's the most tiring thing you can. It's the most intensive form of cardio I've ever
Yes,
experienced.
and you get like I've done 3-minute boxing rounds before, and you get to that like 2-minute, 2.5-minute mark, and you're already gassed.
Yeah.
And that 1 to 2 second reprieve is everything. That feels like 30 seconds to your body.
Yeah. And we'll talk about boxing cardio coming up here soon, but moving into the next part, the YouTube versus TikTok fight. There were two fights like in the very early on part of it that I don't remember who fought, but the YouTube people won. I don't really care about them. We're just gonna not talk about them.
That's fine. I didn't watch all the fights. I watched the bigger ones, the more important ones, in my opinion.
So the first and my favorite one, the first and my favorite at the same time, FaZe Jarvis versus Michael Lee. So FaZe Jarvis, he used to be a Fortnite player until like a professional Fortnite player until he got banned for cheating.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really done a whole lot since. He was incredibly popular. He knocked out Michael Lee in the second round.
That was a vicious knockout. He caught him right on the chin. Beautiful.
It was super good. And I saw Jarvis walking in and I saw just his energy. He looked like he wanted to commit murder. And it was incredible. And he's
a beautiful fight.
He, in my eyes, like before it, he was always just kind of like a weird kid. Like just like I never knew who he was, but he did really, really well. Michael Lee just does like some dances on TikTok and somehow has 50 million followers.
Okay, you know what I want to talk about real quick? The disparity between the TikTokers' amount of followers and the YouTubers and their amount of subscribers.
It's completely different.
It's wild how different it is. You can get like 50 million on TikTok, and that's wild. But most great YouTubers are around 10 million or less.
Well, also, Talal, if you watch somebody on TikTok and you follow them, does that mean that you're legitimately interested in wanting to get to know them better? Or you just like what they're doing?
I don't follow anybody on TikTok. Like,
so the way I talked about this with Anya last night, real quick, is TikTok does this in an interesting way, right? You follow someone so you can continuously see their content, right? Because really that's the only way you can keep up on their content if you like it.
Yeah.
As far as I understand. YouTube, with the way that the algorithm changes all the time with recommended videos and creators and stuff, that's always changing. You never have the same people on there. So if you know, you can remember their names quickly because you're only gonna really know a few that you want to consistently watch.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less reason for you to subscribe on YouTube than there is for you to follow on TikTok, because following on TikTok means you keep up with that.
In my eyes, subscribing on YouTube requires more commitment than following on TikTok.
Very true. But no, I agree.
Go ahead.
And also because TikTok, they have this like, because the way their algorithm works, like, hey, if I like a certain video, they're gonna show me 10 other videos like it, you know, close to it.
Similar.
And if I like one of those, it's kind of like a chain reaction. So now, like for example, if I open it and my For You page is all the videos, most of it is videos that like, hey, I like these, you know, these are stuff that like, you know, content that I like to watch. But like YouTube, like you said, you watch one video that's like outside your like usual, and they throw like so many different videos at you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just so different. You
Plus,
know what I mean?
one of Michael Lee's big things in particular, his younger brother looks a lot like him, and he's like 6 years old or something, and they just like dress the same and they'll do the same dance together. And I can understand, like, it is kind of cute, like just a dude and his little brother, but at the same time, I think, I don't know how many subscribers Jarvis has. I can't imagine it being very low at all, but I don't know. I feel like I get to know Jarvis more in one video than in all of Michael Lee's TikToks.
Well, here's
Because
the
the
thing
TikTok
too,
is like a minute max.
and it's so
Yeah.
That's the thing.
superficial too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like for there's so much more effort. No offense to anybody who's like super into TikTok and everything. I
Yeah.
have some friends that are really into it and everything, but people who do YouTube videos are so much more creative to a degree.
There's
To,
the
there's
rare
a line,
there's the rare person on each side that
right?
crosses over, and I know what you mean.
And what I'm more getting at is much more effort is required to consistently upload YouTube videos than it is to do TikToks. You memorize
Well,
a dance or whatever. You know, YouTube, you
True.
have to, you know, I mean, take it as you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Because TikTok, you can, while you're holding your phone, you can boom, like
Yeah.
in like 2 minutes, I already have video. Is it the best ever? No, but it's still like one of those videos you see all the time.
And it's going to be
YouTube, you have to like
consumed
record,
massively.
you have to edit, you have to put a title, you have to put a description, thumbnail, you have to do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to be
Yeah.
consistent with that process. So like I feel like YouTube is a lot more, like you said, it's not just like time consuming, but like you have to have motivation to like actually go in and be like, hey, I gotta make another video. But TikTok, you see users doing what, like 10 videos a day, and only
Well,
took like an hour
yeah,
of their
that's
time.
that's the other thing. On TikTok, you can do 10 videos a day and they'll
Mhm.
all get the same amount of views. On YouTube, if you pump out 3 videos within
Yeah.
12 hours, only one of them will do well. The other 2 will get completely pumped down the system.
Yep.
hmm
But so real quick, moving on to the next fight so we can talk about it. DDG versus Nate Wyatt. Now, DDG is a rapper. He came up on YouTube and he was a vlogger, and Nate Wyatt is kind of like an Instagram fitness guy, and he does stuff on TikTok too. But Nate's kind of just built. But I thought it was a hilarious, I mean, the fight just happened. It wasn't really that great. DDG won every round as far as anybody's concerned. But the build up to it was hilarious because Nate Wyatt is like a super health conscious, like really driven guy. DDG just like does a lot of drugs and just like parties all the time. And he said that he was at the club the night before the fight and woke up late and was hungover and was high and still won the fight.
Bro. That's insane.
It was so funny. The buildup was so hilarious because Nate Wyatt's like, oh, you're gonna get gassed. Your lungs aren't gonna be able to do it. Nate Wyatt was gassed before DDG was. It was so funny to me.
Honestly, I'm low-key trying to relate, just to be very honest. I haven't seen any of these fights.
I didn't watch
Not
that one.
one.
Yeah, I watched that one because I had been following DDG lately, and I think his
Mhm.
music's really impressive.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I watched a few of them, but that one was not one of them.
The only one I watched was the Logan versus Mayweather. I didn't even watch that. I just watched the highlights. And not even the highlights. I watched like 2 minutes of it, and that was it.
Mhm.
But honestly, it's just bizarre. Like, I know we already moved past that fight, but I'm still taking in the fact that Mayweather raked in like 100 million?
No, not that much.
He said
I
it was 100 million, right?
the split before the pay-per-view add-ons that they got, Logan got 250K up front with 10% of pay-per-view sales. Floyd Mayweather got 10 million up front with like 40% of pay-per-view sales or something. So he could there's no way he gets 100 million out of that off the fight itself. I'm sure with the OnlyFans hat that he wore walking into the ring, he probably got a good chunk of change, but I don't know. I don't think that he got $100 million.
Because that's the number that I was hearing. That's the number that was hovering
That was a
around.
number I heard around too. I also heard lower, like around 53. 53 would be more realistic, I feel like.
Dude, whatever that number is, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It
It's
was
a
worth
lot.
it. It
Yeah.
was completely worth it.
Oh yeah.
But he said that he made 10 million in the lead up to the fight off brand deals, which that's impressive.
I believe it though. I
Oh, yeah.
definitely
Dude,
believe
can I just
that.
have one? Can I just have one? Just one. All my problems will be gone, dude. All of them.
Everything.
Dang.
Just with one
That's
brand
insane.
deal. Gone.
Exactly. That's crazy. Dude, I don't even want 1 million. Just give me 100K. Like that's all I want.
Well,
That's probably pocket change to this guy.
speaking of brand deals, do we want to take a moment and thank our sponsor?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Good idea.
Hey everybody, Nate here. And real quick, before we get it too far into the episode, I want to talk about our sponsor, Anchor. If you're not familiar, they're a free platform that allows you to record and edit your podcast from your computer or from your phone if you're on the go. They have free monetization with no minimum listenership. So advertisements just like this one right now that you're listening to. And they also distribute your podcast for you to several different platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as a few others. And so if you ever wanted to start a podcast, what are you waiting for? Go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm right now to get started.
And we're back. All right. So the next fight, the Deji versus Vinnie Hacker fight, the most sad moment of the entire night. We
Deji
saw,
is the only YouTuber that lost on the card.
and in my eyes, the only YouTuber I expected to win the fight. He
Really?
was the only one that I was going in with a guarantee in my mind of winning.
I mean, because looking back at his previous fight with what's his face, Jake.
Jake.
Yeah, like that guy, he like sure Deji still could have done better, but he still put up a good fight. You know what I mean?
Deji has lasted longer against Jake Paul than Jake Paul's 3 previous opponents combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which in itself is cool and
yeah.
all. But here's the thing. Deji could do so much more if he actually worked harder. You can, dude, you cannot walk into a fight like that and look like Pillsbury Doughboy and expect to win. I'm sorry, but Vinny went in there looking ready to win.
I've never seen a walkout like Vinnie Hacker's. He walked out to the Naruto Pain theme.
Yeah.
And it's essentially just like ambient noise with an angel choir over it. It was terrifying watching him walk in. And then Deji comes out. He's just too chubby to fight. He's wearing like the seamless tunic out of the Bible that Jesus wore, trying to look like Mike Tyson with a rosary around his neck. And I don't know.
Even Jesus couldn't help him, fam. Let's be real. Let's be real.
He looked so bad. He gassed out in the 3rd round.
He started gassing out like around the second and a half mark of the round. He gassed out quicker in this fight than he did in the Jake Paul fight, which is ridiculous. Should not have happened. He should have been able to last longer. But he should have known better.
Here's the thing. It was 2-minute rounds. All these fights, 5 2-minute rounds. Regular boxing matches generally are 6 3-minute rounds, so 18 minutes total. This was a total of 20 minutes. Or a total of 10 minutes.
10.
Sorry. 10 minutes. Deji lasted not 6. I was so disappointed.
It's sad. Like
Vinny went in ready to fight. And
here's the thing, like how is your team okay with you going in like that too? KSI mentioned this in a video the other day. Like it starts with you.
Frustrated.
It starts with you, but how does your support team, how does your team let you do that?
Yeah.
Well, you never know, because remember back with the Jake Paul fight when he was like, when even KSI was like, hey, like we provided you with like a cook, we provided you with like everything, but he didn't
Yeah.
like. In the end of the day, what can they do? Like they provided for him, but he didn't take it, so that's really on him. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's the same situation now. They still did the same thing, but he just decided not to
I mean, it's ultimately up
properly
to him,
prepare.
yes.
Well,
But
here's my thought. So KSI and Deji, for those of you who don't know, are brothers. Deji is KSI's younger brother. They were together the other day. They like both put it on their Instagrams. Not many things can warm my heart like seeing those two boys together, but
no,
they I have a feeling we'll talk about it soon with the Annie Sung Gibb fight and Taylor Holder. We'll talk about it soon. I feel like the next time Deji trains for something, he's going to be training with somebody else because we've seen it twice. He's not capable of training on his own. He's going to train with Gibb or with his brother.
and that's what he should have done in the first place. I mean, let's just transition into the Gibb and Holder fight now.
Yeah.
Gibb looked incredible. He maintained a constant attack the entire time.
He's a moderately tall Saudi Arabian man that had an incredible 8-pack abs and boxing skills to take him 8 rounds instead of 5. He was so good.
He wasn't even, it didn't even look like he was slightly gassed by the end of the fight. But
No,
he
he wasn't.
He looked so good.
And then Taylor Holder, who literally every single person that thought about the card was saying Taylor Holder was going to win because everybody says, oh, he's been boxing his whole life.
He's also taller, has more reach.
Yeah, he's younger. He seemingly has more skill. There, like other boxers were saying that they don't want to fight Taylor Holder, and a lot of people, from what I heard, were offered the fight against Taylor Holder.
Yeah,
like big names. Gibb is the only one that took it because he wasn't scared, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're an idiot." Taylor Holder shaved his head like shortly, like 2 days before the fight. Massive mistake. Terrible luck. Absolutely terrible luck. I feel like that's part of why he lost because
what does that have
Why
to do
would he
with
do
it?
that?
Getting your hair cut right before a fight is bad luck.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing?
Taylor Holder had hair like longer than mine, just like big floppy TikTok boy hair, and shaved his head like 2 days before the fight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but Taylor Holder gassed early, didn't really throw many punches.
He stayed in defense mode the entire time, it seemed like. And by the time he started striking, it was way too late.
He didn't win a single round.
No. I mean, here's how it kind of went. You know, he gets to the end of the fight and he's like, you know, he was trained to attack and his team kept yelling at him, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You need to attack like we taught you." And he didn't. He was in defense mode. And I think he was caught by surprise by Gibb. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he was surprised that Gibb had the balls to be so explosive and just constantly at him. And I think it was pure surprise.
Gibb was obviously trained very well and trained exactly for a higher skill level, but in training for a higher skill level, got a higher skill level himself. I don't know. It was incredible in my eyes. But then the fight ended with a draw.
Yeah.
After everything that we're talking about, hyping Gibb up so much, the fight ended with a draw. He read out the announcer read out the scores. I don't know who was reading with their eyes crossed, but you literally cannot format the scores to be a draw. Not usually with a draw, one judge has to have like a 56-56.
Yeah, they were all split differently.
They were all split, and one judge gave every single round to Taylor Holder, and the event tweeted that Taylor Holder won before the scores were read. So it was 1,000,000% rigged. You can't. There's no question.
It has been overturned since. Gibb has been declared the winner, and rightfully so. Even Taylor Holder tweeted out, "I definitely did not deserve a draw out of this."
Well, that's because I think no matter what the outcome of a fight is, you have to like, oh, I won. That's what Taylor Horter was doing. He's like, oh, I think I won.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was like he even said like I don't deserve this to be a draw. He said I'm blessed for the opportunity and thankful to have it. But Gib definitely won that fight. Is basically what he said.
Oh wow.
And I mean, if you watch the fight, it was clear Gib won every single round. Gib annihilated that match.
Yeah. So the last fight,
this
the
was my favorite.
funniest one. Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall.
Now, let me just start this real quick. Bryce, you talked the most crap, dude, and you got clarted so hard.
Dude, I didn't watch that fight, but like just going on like TikTok, I watched. Oh my god,
he talked so much crap and just got annihilated. He got beat.
Dude, this man got
like a toy doll just being whipped around the room by a dog. He just got destroyed.
It was bad.
Listen, Bryce Hall does not like naturally work out. He definitely 1,000,000% takes like SARMs or something. Like he went from like slightly bigger than me to shredded in like 3 months. That's not a thing that happens usually, especially with weight gain.
I mean, to be fair, it can happen, but knowing him, it's probably not the case.
If you look at everybody else, and if you look at the time demand of a TikTok account, because it does demand daily time, there's no way he could have done that. That's like working out 2 times a day for 3 months consistently, no breaks. That's what that means. But Bryce Hall declared a TKO in the 4th round, I think, 3rd or 4th round.
Something like that. The ref called it.
Yeah, but it was so funny because Bryce Hall was getting absolutely bombarded. He was getting peppered right in the face.
Dude, he was getting destroyed.
It was so funny. And he couldn't do anything to stop it. The ref would like stop it at points to give him a standing 10 count, which is like you basically just stop it for the fighter's sake to make sure that he has a little bit of time. Every time he was like, what? Like, I'm fine. It's like, dude, give it 10 more seconds. Without the standing 10 count, you wouldn't be fine.
And and when the ref finally called it, he was looking around being like, what? Like, why do you think he called the fight, dude? You have blood pouring out of your face. You have consistently taken so many face shots. Come on, dude. Like, and here was the funny thing. He went in and I heard an announcer mention this in the fight, that Bryce Hall mentioned he'd been in over 40 street fights.
Yeah.
So, and the announcer, she was like, so, he actually might bring some skill into the ring tonight. And I thought that was funny in itself, because street fighting and actual like boxing and stuff, it's very different.
It's not.
Street fighting, you don't have any rules. It is much easier to fight that way than to fight with discipline.
Well, not even that. In a street fight, you're not going to generally be fighting somebody who has been preparing to literally work around you.
Right. Yeah.
In a street fight, is more often than not just a random dude.
And it's usually very quick too. Usually those don't last long.
Exactly. But it was ridiculous.
And here was the other thing with that. In like Bryce Hall's, like, I don't know if you want to call it, like, I don't even know where this clip came from that I saw, but it was
the pre-fight thing, like the trailer.
Maybe, yeah, it was a trailer. And he was like, yeah, I'm a fighter. And at the end of the fight, whenever they held the microphone up to him, he's like, I never claimed to be a fighter. I'm not a
real fighter.
I never claimed to be a fighter.
And then it was like,
yeah, are you dumb? Like,
it was so funny. He's such a clown.
Not to hate on anybody, but to me, he's like another Jake Paul. You deserve what you got, my guy.
He's a Jake Paul mimic.
Yes, he's a Jake Paul wannabe. And
Jake Paul is a Conor McGregor wannabe.
Yeah.
So Bryce Hall is now Conor McGregor's grand wannabe.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's
They are
just
related.
like I just
It's just insane.
I'm glad Bryce lost. He deserved it. He really did. Get humbled a little bit. But I mean, in all fairness, Austin just absolutely destroyed. I mean, did you see his face at points throughout the match? He looked like he wanted to kill someone.
Yeah, but also, if you look at all of the fighters on the card, Austin McBroom was not. He was good because he was doing well against Bryce Hall. That doesn't mean that he's a good boxer. It just
No.
means that Bryce Hall is really bad. Austin McBroom wants to fight KSI now, and that's hilarious because
So does Bryce. Bryce wanted to fight him too.
yeah, wanted to, but that
Yeah.
chance is out of the water now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, let's be fair. I feel like Gibb was a much better fighter than Austin was.
Gibb was the best on the card.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. He's probably he had
okay.
the most experience.
Here's what I like about, because you guys mentioned KSI. Here's what I like about KSI. This man, he works, but like silently. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's what I
definitely.
like most. That's what I love about him. Like this man, he will just come out and he have no idea what to expect. Because he like the whole time, like you don't see any vlogs about it, you don't see any videos about it, like nothing.
Yeah.
He's just in the dark the whole time. And then he just like comes out.
Yeah.
And so that's insane. I feel like that's just a mentality he should have.
Well, if you look and you really pay attention to what he's doing, he teases little bits of things. Like in his music especially. He just released a new song the other day, and it's singing. It's like a really nice like summer vibe, feel good song. The song before that, he sang a little bit. He like was singing on that just a little bit with more auto tune, but this one it's like just like letting the pipes go, and you can see he teased the little bits throughout. I can't wait for what he has coming up because
the album's going to be incredible.
At this point, he's my favorite YouTuber.
Yes.
Like by far.
Yep.
When's he is he like gonna fight somebody else?
So
is he training or what's going on?
I think he's going to fight Austin McBroom. There's going to be another one of these battle of the platform things, but it's going to be YouTube versus Twitch, like Twitch streamers. And I think Austin and KSI are going to head that off, even though they're both YouTubers.
I know he wants to wait until after the album is done and out.
Oh,
he wants to make sure the music's done and good, and then
he's going to go on tour.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no.
Didn't he want to fight Jake first? Isn't that his priority?
I think that he shouldn't fight
He
Jake.
keeps saying he wants to. He has nothing to prove there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think he might lose that fight.
He might. I mean, there's a chance that he could, but also I don't think he needs it. I don't think people really care a ton to see it.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares about that fight anymore. It's been too long.
At this point, I just want to see Jake get humbled. That's it, because
he's
been going on for way too long.
He's got a fight coming up. I'm excited to see him get
Who's he fighting?
slapped up. Tyrone Woodley. Very, very good UFC fighter.
That should be an interesting
Dude,
one.
why is he doing this to himself?
Who's doing what?
Jake?
Why is Jake doing that? Yeah, why?
Because he
why
thinks
is
he can
on?
just take on everybody.
No, here's the thing. When the average boxer comes up and does smaller fights but to build their record, this is the type of thing that they do. They fight UFC people, they fight small boxers with not great records. Jake is only expected to fight 20-0 fighters because of the way that he talks. I think that
he talks a lot of schmack. He talks a lot of that.
More than just about anybody. But I think that's about it. Those are all the fights. We'll have something new next week. We're all rotating who's in charge of the topic, so we'll get back to you then. Anything else, guys?
No, just
Mm,
tune in for timeout that comes in the middle of the week.
should be
You'll see
about
on
Wednesday,
like weekends.
Thursday-ish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Some
Thursday-ish.
something like that. So yeah, middle of the week, between the Sundays where
Yeah.
podcasts come out.
The timeout is
Disclaimer.
just one of us at a time. I don't
Yep.
know if we mentioned that detail.
Yeah.
But
Solo acts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a solo video or audio depending on what you're doing or how you're listening. But we just rotate people each week, like between the three of us. Also disclaimer, we record the podcast Sunday, so it will be released either Sunday night or Monday morning, one of them. So not necessarily Sunday like afternoon or like
Yeah.
right now. It really just depends on just like the workload and what we have going on in our lives. But
Yeah.
just to put that out there, just so you guys have a solid idea, because lately, it's been kind of inconsistent, but
It's been very inconsistent.
Yeah.
yeah. So
There
yeah,
is
no, we all talked about it. We all got on a call together. We were like, hey, we got to develop a plan. That's what you call it. There you go. My mind blanked for a second.
That's the word.
Yeah.
There is
So
a bonus episode that'll be going up on the YouTubes here tonight. I'll be putting that up.
on the YouTubes.
And you should be able to find that link. I actually made a link tree for us for the LTC group. So we'll have that linked below. It'll have all the links, and then we'll just, do the usual personal links for us. But you go into the link tree, you'll see YouTube. You can watch it, subscribe, like, comment, #Mike's comment, all that fun jazz and stuff, and just have a good old dandy time enjoying the video.
Yes, sir.
Do the RFS signs. All right.
Oh,
We'll
man.
see you guys later. Peace out.
Yes, sir. You guys take care. Peace out.